Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm from Group 8 and my partner, Imarotus, explain about testing reading writing. First is testing reading. There are three kinds of testing writing. First is pure test, and pure test consists of three different kinds of tests. First is true or false items. Kind of test may seem easy to construct, but an examiner has to think hard before jotting down true or false statements. True false items are one variety of pure test. If constructed properly, reveal the student's understanding of the reading passage. Turn into a genuine measure of testing reading comprehension, and of test should be comprehensive. The second type of the testing reading is semi-pure test. Semi-pure test consists two types of tests. The first is partial production test, or test requiring sentence completion. Production is therefore required. The students are not left to cast the whole answer in their own words or establish where the answer is to be found in the passage. The student is guided by a certain point about, say, a certain character or item. The second is full production test. Of test requires the testee to compose his answers. Most of our teachers seem to prefer this kind of test because it is easy to construct, but they seem to forget that the fact that this type of test is difficult to mark. The students often tend to strengthen their answer, things that are quite irrelevant to the subject. And then the last type of testing reading is impure test. Finally, we will turn to what we have called the impure test of comprehension. This resembles to some extent the full production we have just described, present an even more confused mixture of comprehension and writing skills. The tests we have in mind are usually called summary and precise writing. They, of course, test comprehension, but the emphasis is not so much on whether the student understands the passage as on the whether he can assemble the salient points in shortened form.
Okay, the next material is writing assessment. There are two, macro and micro skill of writing. So the micro skill of writing are produce writing at an efficient rate of speed to suit the purpose, then produce an acceptable core of words and use appropriate word to order patterns, use acceptable grammatical system like tense, agreement, pluralization, and then use patterns and rules. The next is express a particular meaning in different grammatical forms. And then the last, use cohesive device in writing discourse. The second is macro skill of writing are use the rhetorical forms and convention of written discourse. The next is appropriately accomplish the communicative function of written text according to form and purpose, and then distinguish between literal and implied meanings when writing, and then convey links and connection between events and communicate such relation as main idea, supporting idea, new information, simplification, given information, generalization, and then the last correctly convey cultural specific reference in the context of the written text. There are many types of writing tasks. One is imitative writing, like copying, listening, close selection text, and picture code text. And then from complexion text, the last is converting numbers and abbreviation to words. The second type are spelling text and detecting phoneme, like spelling text, picture code text, multiple choice techniques, and matching phonetic symbol. And then the third type is intensive writing like dictation and dictocom. The next is grammatical transformation text like practical, reliable. Numerous versions of the text are possible like change the tense in a paragraph, change statement to yes or no, or way question into statement, combine two sentence into one using relative pronoun, and change from active to passive voice. And the next type is picture code text, like short sentence, short description, picture sequence description, vocabulary assessment text, and ordering text. And then the last type is paragraph construction text. They are topic sentence writing, and then topic development with a paragraph, then development of mind and supporting ideas across paragraph. Strategic option is developing mind and supporting ideas is the goal of the writer attempting to create an effective text. A number of strategies are commonly taught to second language writer to accomplish their purpose. Aside from strategies of free writing, outlining, drafting, and revising, readers need to be aware of the text that has been determined and to focus on the genre of writing and the expectation of the genre. I think enough from our group. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.